Hey, Steve Young here, and you're watching 101 Sports.
Welcome back to 101 Sports. I'm now joined by the veteran Alex Rosenbaum and our very own rookie, Ryan Ballick. There's got to be rookies we're talking about potential rookies in the NFL draft if there happens to be a season. But let's not focus on that. Let's talk about the draft itself. These prospects, there's been a lot of movement on the board so far. Guys rising, falling. Alex, who's a guy that's been rising?
Well, the guy who's now legitimized his spot at the top of the draft board, a guaranteed top 5 pick for me, Von Miller out of Texas A&M. He had a good season. And he was always,
very good season.
He was always going to be a first-round pick. But you look at his Senior Bowl, incredible, stood out. He was unblockable, and at the Combine, he was a specimen. He showed that he can play both the 4-3 and the 3-4. He is locked into any of those top 5 teams. My guess, number 5 to Arizona.
Like you said, locked in. We're looking for a riser here.
I really like Von Miller as a player, and I think he's going to have great success in the next level. But the thing is, has not shot up as much as the guy I'm about to say, because Von Miller in 2009 has drawn NFL comparisons to Elvis Dumervil from NFL Scouts. And Adam Schefter tweeted last April that Von Miller was going to be a top 5 pick. So he hasn't shot up at all. He's just going to be there. He was injured in the beginning of the season. But my pick is Cam Newton, strictly because
Cam Newton, he was number 1 at the end of the season. He's fallen out of that spot.
Exactly. No, but in the middle, or during the season, he had all the allegations about himself. People were considering him being just like a Tim Tebow kind of guy, and that he would go low in the first round. And now he's being drafted, or he's being projected possibly as being the number 1 pick.
After the national championship game, his stock was as high as it could
be. Yeah, but after
he
the
was projected to be number 1, and then he went to the Combine, and that shot down.
Guys,
he's not going to be the number 1
Von Miller was there last year.
We got to move on. We're still going to talk about quarterbacks, so you can still get your yelling in. But talking about who is going to have the best impact as a quarterback coming in. You see the big 2, Gabbert and Cam Newton, but there are some others out there. Who's going to have the most impact coming in next season? Ryan, we'll start with you.
I think it's Blaine Gabbert, strictly because the receivers in the top, like the teams that could draft a quarterback, they have very good receivers and a decent O-line. Unless he goes to the Bills, then he's in some sort of trouble, considering they have the worst O-line ever.
What if he goes to Carolina?
They have a decent O-line.
And no receivers.
They have Steve Smith. He's a great receiver.
Steve Smith in his 30s, 5'9" receiver going on the decline.
Nobody threw him the ball last year. I'm just saying that if Gabbert was there, he would definitely fall in love with Steve Smith, and they would have a great connection, I believe.
All right, you're wrong about Gabbert. Gabbert's biggest problem, he has a lot of potential, but he ran the spread at Mizzou, and he threw a lot of short passes. Great short pass accuracy. Deep pass accuracy was terrible at his workout and at the Combine. Steve Smith is a deep guy. I don't like that. A guy I like is that second tier of quarterbacks. Andy Dalton. I know he doesn't have all the tools that a Cam Newton or a Blaine Gabbert have, but he's smart, very accurate, and played in a pro-style system with underachieving players at TCU, and they went undefeated. He is a winner, and he'll go to a team like Minnesota in that second round and make an impact right away.
No, but like the thing is, he's not going to have an impact right away because he's going to start off as backup.
Blaine Gabbert, who?
In Minnesota, Webb. Or whoever's their quarterback. There's no way a second-round quarterback can be the first starter.
I don't know, guys.
Immediate impact will be Cam Newton.
Well,
let's move
on to our last question. Moving into this draft, we've seen it move to prime time. We've seen the time shorten a little bit from 15 to 10 in between picks. But what's another change that you'd like to see in this draft,
Well,
Alex?
The draft itself does not need a change. I love what they've done. I love the 3 days. I love the shorter times. That's always kind of been an issue. What's great now is that free agency, because of this lockout, is after the draft.
I like that.
So teams have to draft for need.
Exactly.
Instead of just assuming that one of the free agents is going to pan out, it makes the draft a lot more realistic, like the NBA, MLB, all that stuff after the draft. They finally got it right this year in football.
That's interesting.
I also like the draft a lot, and I like the way it's doing, but I still think they could shorten the times a little bit because 3 days, it gets dragged out day after day, and people really just start getting bored after the 3rd day when they're still taking 5 minutes to take a pick. Maybe if they shorten it down to 3 minutes, it would just be a little
but you look at
faster.
You look at all the action that happens, not just who they're going to pick.
Trades are very important.
Trades are very important, especially in that first round. You need that 10 minutes unless you're the first team. I think you should have to pick it right off the bat if you are the first team.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past all these teams use all the time that they're allotted. But good job, guys. Not too bad for a rookie here. Well, it's time for us to take another break, but when 101 returns, Christian will sit down with college football resident expert to field questions from our fans. Don't go anywhere.